One of the Eagles' young studs makes a bold claim about where he stands in the NFL. Also, Howie Roseman goes off on an NFL reporter. You do not want to miss what he had to say. What is going on, everybody? Welcome into A to Z Philly, your number one home for Eagles coverage. Hit the like button if you enjoy the show. Be sure to subscribe and also ring that bell down below. That way you do not miss any of the coverage. Or be back bringing you another one from the link. And today, the latest scoop is very interesting. A young stud of a wide receiver for the Eagles making a bold claim, saying, I am here with some of the greats in the league right now already. Also, Howie Roseman absolutely puts an NFL reporter in his place, man. You do not want to miss what he had to say. I love this guy more and more every single day leading this football team. He's not afraid to stand on his own 2 feet and say it with his chest. But before we dive into all of it, shout out to the sponsor of today's video, BetMGM. Enjoy all your favorite sports like never before at BetMGM. Sign up using code ATOZPA and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. When you register with BetMGM, you'll get instant access to a variety of parlay selection features, live betting options, player props, and daily boosted odds specials. And with BetMGM at your fingertips, every play and every game matter more than ever. Find out why BetMGM is the king of sportsbooks. Sign up today with bonus code ATOZPA and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. 21 years of age or older to wager. Pennsylvania only. New customer offer. Bonus bets expire 7 days from issuance. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right, let's get into it and start it off with something awesome, man. Here's a picture today from Nolan Smith. Here's today, Nolan Smith, and Elliott Shore Park says he doesn't look like an undersized edge rusher. Man, we were talking about him yesterday, saying he's a little undersized. This guy's bulking up. He's putting on some weight already. I'm telling you, he's going to be a sneaky good defender, especially if he starts to get in games early this season. Shout out to Nolan Smith. I talked about his attitude, his personality. This kid wants to work, and it's great to see for sure. Howie Roseman, on the other hand, is sticking to his ways. Howie Roseman is the same guy, and now he's getting a little feisty. You know what I mean? Howie Roseman is sitting in his high chair in his place, and he's saying, you know what? I'm doing big things right now, and I don't want to deal with any drama. Howie Roseman is trying to get this team, prepared to go on another Super Bowl run. And he was on an interview with Pro Football Talk's Mike Florio, who I don't know why he kept pressing him on this issue this way. This was actually pretty weird to me. But Howie Roseman kept getting asked about the Jonathan Gannon tampering charge with the Cardinals, which resulted in the Eagles getting a little bit more draft compensation. They swapped picks and actually helped the Eagles out. So thank you, Jonathan Gannon. Just, unlike you didn't help them, in the Super Bowl. But anyway, we're past Gannon. We're done with that. Show and decide. Ready to see what the Eagles defense, can do. But unfortunately, the media is not past it. And here is what Howie Roseman had in terms of an exchange with Mike Florio. You let me know what you think down in the comments. But listen to this, man.
Before I let you go, what can you tell me about how the Jonathan Gannon tampering situation came to be? How did you find out about it?
Yeah, I think for me personally, obviously, extremely appreciative of JG and his contributions to our football team. Helped us win the NFC. That was handled, as we discussed before, at the ownership level. And I think the more we look in the past, the less focused we are on the future. And so for me, that's over with. Wish him well in Arizona, and we're moving on.
Did you guys actually make a complaint, or was this the Cardinals raising their hand saying, we realize we screwed up?
I'm really appreciative of JG's contributions, helping us win the NFC, and that was handled at the ownership level. And I think we need to move on. And the less we.
The right answer, by the way, the right thing is to move on. Stop asking me about this stuff that can hinder my football team. Plus, he can't really talk about it much anyway. And Mike Florio knows this. But anyway, let's continue.
Focus on the past, the better we'll be in the future.
You're doing a good job reading. Did I say that line the same
time twice? Because I don't think I did. Can you?
I know. No, you got it. You got it right. Your talking points are on point. But
Thank you.
Do you not realize that answers like that make people like me think that?
He said, did I already answer you twice? He said, your talking points are on point. Thank you. I love Howie, man. But anyway, let's keep going.
There's a hell of a lot more to this than anyone is ever going to tell us. And it was a much bigger deal than anyone ever let it on to be. Don't you see that as a reasonable
If I was making
conclusion?
a list of top 5 conspiracy theorists around the National Football League, you would be on. I don't know that you'd be one. I don't want to appoint you as one, but you would definitely be top 5.
You're deflecting. You're deflecting. Should it not be taken as a surprise that the announcement was made minutes before round 1 began? Didn't you even chuckle at that? Good Lord, they're announcing this to the world literally minutes before the draft starts.
It is possible that's when resolution came, right?
Well, I guess that's possible. Is that when it came?
Again, I don't want to get into any details, but I'm saying there are answers for some of your conspiratorial, is that the word? Conspiratorial theories.
Well, that's good. It's good that I got something out of you. I thought you were just going to read the talking points again. We have about 30 seconds. Do you want to read the talking points one more time?
I feel like there's sarcasm involved in that.
Mike Florio, I'm sorry. You are weird, man. You are a weird individual. Asking him once or twice, I perfectly get it. That's your job, right? But if the guy says, I don't want to answer it, we're not getting into details, why do you keep pushing him? And then you started being sarcastic at the end. Howie absolutely owned this guy. He said, not only are you a top 5 conspiracy theory guy, you ain't even number 1. You're not number 1. You're not that good. I love Howie, man. And, again, he told him to essentially shove it. Stop asking me about this crap. It got announced before the draft. We got another draft pick. And what do you know? All right, it is what it is. You move on. Whatever happened with JG before the Super Bowl, who knows? Obviously something was violated, but Howie Roseman's out here sticking on his own 2 feet, just standing with his chest, Stop asking me about that. I thought he had the perfectly right answers. I thought he said, I respect the question, but we're not going to answer it. And I don't know why Mike Florio kept pushing him like that. Shout out to Howie for, flaming this guy. But man, I love it. But let's move on to the last topic of the day. Devonte Smith says that he would definitely believe he's a top 10 wide receiver in the NFL per the I Am Athlete pod. Devonte Smith making a bold claim. Do you think, Eagle Nation, he is top 10? I think skill-wise, he has to at least be up there in the top 10, 15. In terms of number 10, I don't know if he's had the production value yet based on the fact he's only been in the league for a couple of years. Also, in addition to that, I think it's hard to judge given the fact that the Eagles had a number 1 wide receiver, in front of him this year. Now, Devonte maybe can be his own number 1 wide receiver, but I would argue right now that the Eagles probably have the best tandem of a wide receiver combo, best duo, or at least a number 1 or 2. What would you say to that? Maybe Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle or the other guys, maybe Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I would put AJ and Devonte above both of them, in my personal opinion, just looking objectively based on what they did this last year, both going above 1,000 yards. But I think it is fair to say Devonte is on his way to being highly ranked, in terms of wide receivers in the league. Now, this was put out by Devante Adams, who, missed out, in my opinion. Devonte, I believe, is probably number 1 in the NFL. But here are his top 5 wide receivers. Devonte Adams has himself number 1, Justin Jefferson number 2, Tyreek Hill, Stephon Diggs. Okay, all great players. Calvin Ridley, that guy didn't even play last year. Mike Evans and CeeDee Lamb. That's crazy. That is absolute disrespect. Where the hell is A.J. Brown on this list? Devonte Adams, great player. Much respect to him, but he missed out on this one. And Devonte Smith is creeping up the list. I'm telling you right now, Devonte Smith is better than CeeDee Lamb. How about that? He is absolutely better. I'd take him over Calvin Ridley as well. Devonte has the pure combination not only of running routes great, but he has great hands, and it's nice to have a Philadelphia Eagles wide receiver who has great hands because they really lacked out in that category for maybe 5-6 years, maybe even more. And having a pure number 1 wide receiver like an A.J. Brown, first time that the Eagles have had a wide receiver of that caliber, honestly, since T.O., the fact that he was, able to come in where the Eagles didn't have a wide receiver over 1,000 yards in many years, and able to do it so easily, just so, without effort. This duo right here, I think, is going to be special for a long time. You take into account that Jalen Hurts is still young and obviously improving, and the connection, the chemistry he has with those guys. And then Dallas Goedert, who I believe is the top 5 tight end at the position. This Eagles offense is loaded for years to come. And I love it, man. But where would you put Devonte Smith? I definitely think he's got to be up there around 10, 15 and still climbing his way up. I am excited to see what those two do yet again this upcoming season. Give me all your thoughts down below in the comments section. As always, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And with that being said, I will catch you all on the next one. Peace.